I wanted to make sure that everyone knows how to find the area of a triangle. So we're going to actually start with something we should remember, which is the area of a rectangle. So let's draw a rectangle. Let's say this rectangle is 3 by 5. So my length is 5, my width is 3. If I were to draw out the units, it would look something like that. Now if you counted the squares, you would see that there are 15. That is obtained by multiplying the length times the width. So the area equals length times width, which is 5 times 3, and we get 15. Okay, so how does this apply to a triangle? Let me draw you a triangle. All right, so this triangle is going to have a base of 10 and a height of 5. I'm going to start out by actually drawing a rectangle around this triangle because we already know how to find the area of a rectangle. So this rectangle, because this height here is 5, I know that the height is 5. This base is 10, which means I know that this top part is also 10. So now I have this wonderful rectangle. Really easy to find the area because we just do the length times the width. We would have 10 times 5, and we would get the area of that rectangle is equal to 50. So now what I want to do is I want to focus on the actual triangle inside. So I want the area of just this triangle here, right? So this. Let's look at what's happening here. We have this little mini rectangle. Hopefully you can see that this rectangle is cut in half by where the triangle, the line for this side of the triangle is cutting through. So this bottom half right here, if I add that with this is the exact same triangle. So essentially, these two things are equal. That happens on this little rectangle here too. So this half of this rectangle here, if I add it with this half, it makes this rectangle. So essentially, the triangles that form my bottom triangle, if I flip them upside down, they create this other half a rectangle in the top up here. So what this proves is that any triangle, if you know the base here and the height, you can find a rectangle of the same size, and the triangle will actually be exactly half of that. So all we have to do for the area of a triangle is take the area of the rectangle and cut it in half. So for this particular problem, we would go 50 divided by 2, and I know that my area would be 25 square units. Let's look at one more just to make sure. All right, so let's say that I have a triangle like this. We could have a right triangle. When you have a right triangle, the height and the base are the legs of the right triangle that make up the right angle. So let's say that I know that the height of this triangle is 7 and the base of this triangle is 8. All I have to do, I know that if I made that rectangle, that would be 7 times 8, which would be 56. But since I only want the triangle, which notice is only half of my rectangle, I would divide that by 2. So then 2 goes into 5 twice, 16, 8, so I would have 28 square units.